Are you sure you know who surrounds you? As the years go by, our hearts grow softer, we become more tolerant of pain, and often less watchful of the people around us. At 60, the soul longs for peace. But it's precisely during this time, when our strength begins to fade yet our hearts still feel deeply, that certain people may appear, those who quietly drain our energy. Slowly, silently, almost imperceptibly. And what if I told you there are 5 types of people you should especially keep at a distance after 60? Not out of hatred, but out of love for yourself. Stay until the end, and you'll see how even small changes in your social circle can bring you peace of mind, mental clarity, and a renewed strength to live. Because sometimes to feel light again, all you need is to simply step away from those who pull you down. Type 1. Those who constantly complain. You've definitely met them. These people enter a room, and a shadow seems to follow. Not because they're bad, but because every word they speak carries weight. Every breath, weariness. Every conversation, complaints. They'll always find something wrong. The weather is abnormal. Doctors don't know anything. Children are ungrateful. The country is going downhill. Even the tea in their cup is not like it used to be. These people live as if happiness was stolen from them long ago. And now they walk the world telling everyone how much it hurts, how unfair everything is, how nothing feels right. And you listen, at first with understanding, then with sympathy, and finally with a quiet inner exhaustion that's hard to explain. Because after every meeting with them, you're left with less energy, less faith, less sunlight in your eyes. And you don't even notice how a cloud begins to creep into your soul, a fog of grayness, constant dissatisfaction, and fatigue with life. But tell me, is that what you want? At 60, when every morning is a gift, every sunrise an event, should your heart really be spent on someone else's endless whining? No, you are not obligated to be an ear for someone else's storm, especially when that storm never ends. We all have the right to emotions. But there's a big difference between someone who temporarily needs support and someone who has been feeding off others' attention through complaints for years. Avoid these people, not out of contempt, but out of love. Love for yourself, because time is no longer just currency, it's gold. And your soul is not a bucket that can be endlessly filled with other people's pain. Silence is better. A solitary walk in the park is better than an hour with someone unloading the weight of their discontent onto you. After 60, your heart deserves rest, not to carry the burden of someone else's eternal woe is me. Type 2. Those who diminish your achievements and experience. Have you ever caught yourself wanting to share something meaningful, a story from the past, a memory, a piece of advice, only to hear something like, "Oh, that was ages ago." So what? Everyone lived like that back then. Times are different now. Your experience doesn't apply anymore. And technically, nothing directly offensive was said, but something tightens inside you, like a door closing. These people don't shout. They're not openly hostile. They just devalue. Quietly, slowly, and with precision. So much so that you begin to question, was your life really important? Is it even worth sharing anything? Maybe everything you know truly is outdated and useless. That's a dangerous trap, because after 60, the need for meaning becomes especially deep. The meaning of your journey, the meaning of the years you've lived, the meaning of the pain your heart has endured. And when someone near you erases that value, even unintentionally, it feels like the ground disappears beneath your feet. Remember, your experience is a treasure. What you've lived through is a book no author could write. Yet it holds so much truth, it can heal other souls. Your stories are not relics of the past. They're beacons. They're light for those still walking the road. Stay away from those who try to make you feel like an obsolete file. It's not your fault they don't know how to listen. It's not your problem they can't see the depth in simple things. Seek out those who listen with their eyes. Those who say after your story, "Thank you, that opened my eyes." Those who value you, not for status, not for modern relevance, but for authenticity. Because devaluation is a form of silent destruction. And you're not a ruin. You are a temple of time. And anyone who steps into your temple must remove not only their shoes, but also their heart. Type 3. Those who always rush you and impose their own pace. Have you noticed how, with age, you want to slow down? To pause and watch how the tree's shadow stretches across the path. How tea cools, releasing its aroma. How a cloud floats by, as if it knows exactly where it's going. But there are people who don't know how to live slowly. They're always in a rush. They call and immediately say, "So, did you do it yet? Where's the answer? Why aren't you ready?" They don't hear you when you say, "I can't right now. I need a little time," because for them, everything is urgent. Now, yesterday, as they said it should be. These people aren't bad. Their internal metronome just ticks differently. They're used to the chase. And what's most dangerous, they try to drag you into it. But you're no longer made for running. You're made for depth. After 60, life changes rhythm. And that's not weakness, it's wisdom. Because speed doesn't guarantee correctness. Sometimes, a slow walk to the store is more valuable than a rushed flight across the country. Those who force their pace on you, disregarding your state, do not respect your time. And even if they're family, even if it's out of love, you have every right to say, "My rhythm is not yours. And I follow it because that's how I hear life." They might get offended. They might say, "You become lazy, you don't want anything." But this isn't about you. It's about their fear of stopping. Because silence frightens them. While for you, perhaps for the first time in your life, it feels peaceful. Don't let anyone steal your pause. Your slowness is not a loss. It's a new way of seeing. And if someone doesn't want to slow down beside you, perhaps they should follow their own path. And you yours. No fuss. No loud steps. Just with yourself and within yourself. Type 4. Those who see only old age in you, not a person. Have you ever heard something in a person's tone that sounded like politeness, but was actually condescension? When they speak to you too slowly. When they keep asking, "Are you sure you remember? Do you need help sitting down? Are you sure you should eat that?" And while you feel you're supposed to be thankful for the concern, something inside you stirs. As if they no longer see you as a capable, thinking adult. They don't really see you anymore. They just see your age. It's an extremely subtle form of disrespect when a person is reduced to a number in a passport. When they no longer look for light in your eyes, but only for wrinkles. When they don't let you make decisions because you don't need to worry about that anymore. When your "I want" is replaced by someone else's "you should." That's dangerous. Because it slowly erodes your sense of dignity. And after 60, that dignity must be your armor. You are not an old lady who should stay quiet. You are not an old man who doesn't need anything anymore. You are a person, with a story, with convictions, with choice. And if someone near you forgets that, keep your distance, even if they're close to you. Because aging is not an illness. It's a stage, perhaps the wisest, the most truthful. It still holds desire. It still holds love. It holds an entire universe. And if someone can't see beyond your age, the problem is not your years. The problem is in their eyes. Step away from those who treat you as just an old person and move closer to those who treat you as a human being. Because respect isn't in the tone of voice. Respect is in a gaze that sees deeper than the years. Type 5. The inner critic. The one who lives within you. Have you ever caught yourself talking to yourself? Not like a friend, but like an enemy? I forgot again. Age is really catching up with me. I must not have been that wise if I couldn't raise grateful children. My body isn't what it used to be. Who would want me now? These words aren't spoken aloud. They whisper at night, when the lights are off and the thoughts won't quiet down. This is the inner critic. Sometimes it speaks with the voice of your mother from the past. Sometimes a strict teacher, and sometimes the voice of society, which repeated for years. You must be strong. You must be useful. You must measure up. And now you're 60, and it's still there. Instead of supporting, it scolds. Instead of embracing, it criticizes. Instead of saying, "You are worthy of love, just as you are," it repeats you're not enough, and always something new. Not successful enough, not attractive enough, not healthy enough, not wise enough. This is the most insidious type, because it grows with us. It knows our pain, our weak spots, our shame and fear. And that's why it hits so precisely. But listen carefully. After 60, your inner voice should not be a warden. It should be a friend. Not the one who pushes you forward with harshness, but the one who reaches out a hand. Not the one who measures your worth by achievements, but the one who gently reminds you. You survived. You endured. You came through. And you are worthy. Simply because you exist. Learn to listen to yourself, but not the shouting critic. The quiet voice of your soul. Learn to interrupt the thoughts that diminish you and ask them, is this really true or just an old habit of pain? Because the greatest gift of this age is the chance to become your own parent, your own friend, to learn to support yourself the way you've supported others your whole life, to learn to be kind to yourself, not despite everything, but because of it. You are not your mistakes. You are your journey, and every scar on your heart is a map that brought you here, to this moment, to this understanding. So if you ask who you should avoid first after 60, here's the answer. Your own inner voice, if it doesn't yet know how to love. And if you teach it tenderness, it will become your greatest ally in these golden years. Each of us has the right to choose who stands beside us. Even if you've lived a life of patience, self-sacrifice, and tending to others' needs. After 60, it's time to return to yourself. To choose light, to choose peace, to choose those who don't suffocate your breath. And to remember, what we often need isn't more people, but more silence and honesty with ourselves. Because this age isn't an autumn, as some say. It is the golden hour of the soul, and it deserves only the very best. Save this video. Share it with those who are also on their journey back to themselves. And remember, by choosing whom not to let into your heart, you are making room for the light.